Hi there, Tammy. Good to see you, and I appreciate you being here. I am your aromatherapist and alchemist, bringing you 30 days of essential oils. Take two. Well, take two because I did 31 days back at the beginning of this year, earlier this year, and so this is the second round. Because of so much input and requests, I am just compiling this list and kind of doing a series of them all in a row, just so that I can start getting them uploaded because of where I am. Sometimes the internet's really super slow. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm going with all this. And so if you've been watching these consecutively, yes, I have recorded them all in the same day, and or some of them all in the same day. So thanks for tuning in. If you're new, I invite you to go back and check out 31 days. Also, just so you know that this comes to you with over 30 years of experience. I do have a background in pharmacology, as well as the study of plant constituents in relation to human health and the epigenome. Again, with the oils, but because I also have studied the nutrition, or the science of nutrition more specifically, and again, the epigenome, I have always considered myself an alchemist ever since I was a little girl. I have been mixing things no matter what, ever since I was little. Not just body care products, I mean, even foods. I mean, I just always enjoyed, like, you have this flavor, right? And this flavor, but if you combine them, it's even a better flavor, right? So I really believe that I'm an alchemist by nature. Just going to get comfortable here. So that said, today we're talking about patchouli. It's a little bit better than after I just finished talking about Palo Santo. If you haven't seen that one, check it out. Patchouli is, I feel like I'm, with all the oils that I'm picking right now, it's kind of like all kind of grounded. But patchouli is actually very good for grounding. It's super good for digestion and skincare. One of the things I love about patchouli too, a little known secret about it, is that it's also very good for as an antimicrobial. Typically, you can use it for yeast and fungus, but more specifically, MRSA, the bacteria, which is part of the reason why it works so well as a deodorant. I've actually been using patchouli under my arms just as a straight oil for, oh my gosh, probably close to 25 years. It's funny, people will go patchouli, that they'll smell it on me or something, and they're like, oh man, and they'll either wrinkle their nose because they don't like it, or the idea of patchouli, or the idea why we wear patchouli. And it's like, you know what, I tell them why. I started wearing it because Alzheimer's runs in my family, and I did not want all that aluminum product on me. And I mean, if I can find something that can keep me from being heavily, or I mean, I find it funny. I mean, truthful with you, I find it really funny, because if somebody walks by and they can smell the patchouli, and typically that only happens if it's just I've put it on and then left the house and I'm in public somewhere, because it's really not that strong. I actually went to a treatment facility once where they didn't allow fragrance. I was going to try to work there as an aromatherapist, which I did, and the nurse says to me, well, I just don't like patchouli, so please don't bring it around here. I said, really? You don't like patchouli? I said, because I'm wearing it right now. So it is strong. It does have a strong aroma initially, but what I find interesting is, what would you rather smell? Body odor, from bacteria building up and being sweaty, or would you rather smell something like patchouli? I mean, it's just the complaints that we have are very interesting to me. Nonetheless, because of its antimicrobial properties, it does make a really good deodorant. And as I mentioned, it's really super good for, especially if you pair it with something like I talked about with Cistus labdanum, geranium, thyme. These are all very good when it comes to MRSA. And I really encourage patchouli specifically, especially if the MRSA is on the outside. If it's on the skin, you can apply it directly to the skin, because it's just really super good for the skin. If it is an internal infection that's going on, then taking a bath with those oils, using suppositories, if you're female, you can always put the oils on a tampon to get them internally. I do not recommend oils being ingested simply because you don't want them being broken down right away. You want them to be absorbed into the bloodstream and assimilated effectively as opposed to being metabolized even further. I'm hearing one of my dogs scoot around. I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but I'm trying to avoid looking at them. Anyway, so that's really what I wanted to say about patchouli. It is a very strong oil, which I'm sure if you're familiar with oils, it's not a surprise to hear that. I'm just trying to think about, just looking at my notes here. I would just really, I truthfully like patchouli for its antimicrobial. If I had to say anything, that's what it would be for. And that goes for anything. That could be cystitis, that could be, meaning a urinary tract infection. Again, taking baths with this. Also, vaginal infections, infections on the skin. So this is really where I would use patchouli. And of course, always using it as a deodorant is very helpful. As I said, because I have Alzheimer's in my family, I didn't want to be using the aluminum, and it actually also has a diuretic quality to it, and it's very calming. I know some people like to use it for depression. I just find it to be very calming. Like I said, it has this grounding effect to it, and it's just a different aroma altogether than a lot of the other ones. I know some people talk about it for spasms, but I don't necessarily, I have never found that to be the case with patchouli. Again, if I were to isolate specifically besides the antimicrobial, it's actually just very calming to the body. And so if there is a heightened state of anxiety, moodiness, it is very good for the mind. So, meaning, like I said, anxiety. Some people talk about it with depression. I just think it just helps to regulate mood and helps us to kind of just feel comfortable in our skin. No wonder it's good for the skin. So skin care, antimicrobial care, and just really kind of calming, just very mellowing things out. That's the word I was looking for, mellowing things out. Yeah, I've been kind of searching here, like, what am I trying to say? And that's what it is. It's really just to help mellow things out and just kind of keep everything copacetic. So that's your message for patchouli. Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in. And up next for tomorrow is black spruce. One I didn't think I'd be talking about, but I have found some really cool things to do with black spruce, so stay tuned. Oh, by the way, almost forgot. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, please do so. I am getting into pairing oils and foods, so please consider signing up for my newsletter, because that's where it's going to happen, is in the newsletter. So there you go, because like I said, I have a background in oils and food and yada yada yada, and so I like to pair them up because the oils are signaling molecules, even patchouli, and there will be times that you want to pair it for optimal immune function, because we don't want to tax the immune system, but we want an optimal immune function. So stay tuned.